This is the beginning of my Go Gateway house. This is like a school of experience. This is how I came to create Ken Up, Ken Down. This is a package experience that I got from interviewing people in the DMV area and also people in the virtual world. So that is artists, creatives, locals, professionals, students. This is before and during COVID. Here are their stories, experiences, and perspectives.
I can't believe I'm actually going to talk about this. It's crazy. I actually wanted to do it like more like with my sister present because she was there for the details.
Yeah, it
was such an embarrassing moment in my life, but I had to share it. My sister was like, "You're so brave," because I would have never shared this, and I'm like, I have to tell you, bitch. I have to tell everybody, like not everybody, but like people close to me. Like I told my sisters, I told my friends, and I'm like, she's like, I would have been embarrassed. I'm like, I'm not. This is not on me. This is on him.
Yeah.
What the fuck I'm embarrassed about?
We can make it an ongoing topic where. Yes, you can speak about it, and then I can get people to come in here where you can have a discussion with them too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if we follow
I think that's super important though, because I feel like more women in DC, especially where you have like a down low crew here, like a group of men who are supposedly down low.
So it's like that out here in DC.
How do y'all know? You sound like my boo. His Nigerian ass act like he don't know people be gay.
No,
we literally talked about this like 2 weeks ago, and I was telling him about like not about my situation, but I was telling him about my friend who had a similar situation. He was like, "Niggas be gay," and I'm like, "How you don't know?" He's like, "I don't know."
It's not that I don't think niggas be gay. I know that, but the down low shit, it just blows my mind because how come I haven't met a down low nigga? Like
you have them in your circle, you don't know. That's the point about it being down low.
I need to fucking know. How the fuck do I find out? Because it's like, yo. You gotta understand,
need to know.
Like,
why you need to know where they put their dick?
No, it's not. It's like how these niggas hiding this shit so well.
Because I'm blown away. It's a secret. It's the late night creeping. When you think they with a bitch, they really with a nigga. They chilling in a hotel.
You think one of my niggas is like that?
I'm pretty sure every guy got a guy in his group who's questioning his sexuality, who's experienced with trans women, gay men.
Yeah.
Whatever, or they're just doing stuff, or they're like watching gay porn. It could be that simple as even watching gay porn, something that turns them on. So it's really simple.
All right, you can tell the story.
I mean, it's really not a story to tell. I think that what I wanted to say is more. Oh, first of all. Diara here at Go Gateway, just chilling, and we're drinking, we're talking, we're having a little chatter just about like some of the things that happens like in DC or like anywhere you are. It does not have to be just DC. It could you can be anywhere in the world this can happen to you. It's just about like, as women, sometimes we get involved with men and we're like having a good time with the man, whoever he may be. He could be that nigga. Like, he a fly ass nigga. Y'all fucking with each other. And then you just find out the craziest shit. The shit that make your heart stop. The shit that make your heart drop. Like, real life. Bitch, what you gonna do about this situation? And one of those situations is like, when I talk about it, it's really embarrassing, but it's like, I feel like I should be more embarrassed that I'm talking about it, but I'm not that embarrassed because I feel like it happens to some of us. It could even happen to a lot of us, but I don't want to say a lot because that's like a lot to put out there. But I feel like it happens to us, like, where you just find yourself in shady situations with niggas, like, where you fucking with a nigga, y'all is going hard. Y'all at it. Y'all fuck with each other. It is what it is. And then you just in a situation where you find out your nigga like niggas. So what the fuck you do? And I laugh. I can laugh about it now, but y'all, when I fucking found out, I was crying. Like, I was in tears. Like, my sister could tell you, and I wish she was here. If she was not back at home in Wisconsin, her ass will be here to tell y'all that this shit was not funny. I could not laugh about it before. Before I was crying because my feelings was hurt. And how the situation really works out, I feel like it's like just men sometimes can't be honest about their sexual preference depending on like how they grew up, where they grew up, their family dynamics. And it's actually major shit that goes into this and like why they can't be who they are. But my situation, like I just kind of want to talk about it because I think like other people may have went through similar situations because like it's a different situation when you moving and grooving with a nigga. Like, y'all in it. Y'all fucking like been it. And then you just, it dawns on you that like, niggas ain't fucking with you the way you fucking with them. And that's okay, because it's not your fault. And you should never, ever feel ashamed about it happening. That's why I can speak freely about it now, because I don't feel like it was my fault, nigga. That was all on you. That's what you wanted to do. I did not know. I had no idea. Only thing I could do was move on after I found out. So I think my situation is a little more different maybe, or it could be similar, honestly. Because I was in a situation where I was like with the guy, we was dealing with each other for a little over a year. Just really like, it was like a lot in our relationship. It was crazy, but like we really fucked with each other. I think that one thing about us that we had companionship, we were actually friends and we could talk about a lot of shit with each other. And I guess really you could talk about everything with each other because that was like a big part of himself he hid from me. So I think the biggest thing, like, we were friends. That's all I gotta say is that we were friends. So when this bombshell was dropped on me, it was a lot. So like I'm gonna speed shit up so that y'all can know, so we can get to the end point and the be all of everything. So you love a nigga, y'all together. Y'all with each other, like y'all good friends, y'all besties, y'all hang out. Y'all fucking, sex is great, chemistry is great. Y'all fight, y'all do y'all toxic shit, what you do in a relationship when you love someone, and then y'all move past it. But then one day, you just get like a little inkling in your throat. Like, okay, that sounds bad, because that sounds like something was going on, but like, it was no diseases being like, nothing was like going on. But it was where like, you start thinking some shit, motherfuckers, like, you start like, have the weed ever hit too good or the drinks ever hit too good, you start looking at a little motherfucker a little mysterious. That's what happened with me. Like, I just started looking at him a little different. Like, nigga, you moving a little funny. Something's going on with you and you're being so secretive. So once that happens, like, you start, and I'm not a nosy bitch. That's one thing I just want to clarify right there. It's like, I'm not nosy. I'm actually the type of person that I let shit go on. Like, as far as like, if I think a nigga hiding some shit, nigga, that shit gonna come to the light. I don't gotta go through your phone and shit because that's just not who I am. Because if you go through my phone, I'm gonna be back on your head. No, I'm really not gonna do that. But I might pound on your nugget a little bit because don't go through my phone. That's just, you gotta go through my phone, just break up with me. Like, don't go through my shit because I got other people's shit in my phone that you don't even need to see. So my thing is, I wouldn't do that to you, you know? But in this case, I really had to because it was a lot of mysterious shit, y'all. Like, seriously, things was happening that I wasn't used to. Like, him disappearing with his friends and you're gone for hours. Usually, me and him was together 24/7. So if he go with his friends, like, you gonna tell me you with your friends. And all of a sudden, you leaving with your friends for all these odd hours and I'm just not knowing where you at. Like, that was weird. Like, I mean, I had to, you know, be Nancy Drew in a situation. I had no choice. Usually that's not the case, though. I know that every bitch say it. Usually that's not the case. But I'm really being honest, though. Usually that's really not the case. So, you know, you go through this shit. You figure it out. Point is, we're going to fast forward this shit. Y'all don't need to know all my business. You get to going through certain shit. Go through the emails, y'all. Go through the emails. That's all I want to say. Is like, if you have to go through a phone and you think someone is being mysterious or they're being a little different and you have to go through something, go through the emails. Only because, like, that's going to tell you everything you need to know. Because if anything was deleted, your emails will tell you what you need to know. And in this case, I actually needed to know something because this is my health. This is my life. We are talking about everything is at risk right now. So, like, you know, I needed to know certain shit. So, anyway, not to get into too much detail, because I really, like, don't want to go into all that. So we're going to give him a name only because I think it's important, because I'm probably going to keep mentioning, like, the person I mess with or something like that. So we're going to give him a name. What should we call him?
Let's call him...
we gonna call this nigga Dan. Dan? Because Dan, you giving me stand by. Okay. All right, Mr. Dan. Okay. So I just want to say this. Not to give too many detail. Once again, I'm going to keep saying that because y'all ain't just going to know all my business and be talking about my business. Excuse me. So Mr. Dan was being mysterious. Point is, like, I go through the phone. I get my hands on the phone. I go through the phone. It's all these type of apps on there, like Tinder, Tagged, like dating apps that people use. But it kept on saying like TS. And I'm hopping right into it now. But my thing is, this is what you guys need to look for. If you feel like your man is being mysterious and he's just acting different. It could be just cheating with anybody. But if it's like, I didn't think he was cheating with a woman. I don't know why. I just didn't. I feel like I feel crazy. And I sound crazy saying it now. But it's just like, I just knew him. Like, when I say that was my nigga, we didn't been in a shebang together. Like, if you was in abroad on the side, shawty, how you not gonna tell me? Like, so it was too secretive. Everything was top secret. Once a nigga start sleeping on his phone, start putting phones under the pillow and stuff that you just really not used to, it's a major issue, and it's mysterious at that point. Now I gotta put on my Nancy Drew hat. I gotta do what the fuck I gotta do, because at this point you're trying to play with me like I'm a fool. So, like I was saying, it's like you gotta look for certain things in a phone. And one thing I was noticing is TS. I didn't know what that meant at first. And I'm kind of like going off a little tangent a little bit. But like, I didn't know what that meant at first. I'm like, what the fuck is that? TS. And it was like transgender. I don't even know what it means still. It's like transgender or transsexual. First of all, I was seeing too much of that. Yo, that was starting to scare me. Because I was just like, you a hood nigga. Grew up in Southeast DC on the block. I did not see this coming. So when I started seeing it, I got a little scared. I'm like, okay, these cannot be his apps. Like, this must be... I thought I was, like, in a trance. I thought it was, like, a joke. Like, someone's gonna come out, haha, just kidding. That never happened, and the shit was real. And the thing I had to come to terms with is, like, how do you deal with that? Like, once you find, like, the secretive shit, the things that people try to hide from you, like, where do you go from there? And my thing was, like, I had nowhere to go but up. I had to take it all the way up. I had to go to the person who was in the situation with me. And that was him, Dan. I hope you're watching this, Dan. You're probably not, but I hope you are. But you go to that person, you just really, like, you have to be honest, because you have to think about it. Like, you have your life, and then you're dealing with your own life, and, like, it's personal, and, like, you don't know. Oh, okay, I just want to say this. Thankful for me, this person was not having sex with men, but they were totally, like, into men. Maybe transgender people, but however you slice and dice the cake, however you cut it and flip it, bake it, still the same thing. So, like, you know, damn, this is actually, like, now that I think about it, like, nigga, you was really trying to try me. Okay, but anyway, you dice it or bake it or whatever. It was like, he was not, I just want to say that he was not dealing with these people sexually, but this is actually a topic I'm going to touch on just, like, in a second. But the important thing is like, if you feel anything going on, like as women, like if you feel like something is off with your man, like he's just not being the same, I think it is our jobs to kind of like dwell into that and kind of just like try to figure it out, you know? Only because you never know what's going to happen. If I did not go through his phone, if I did not figure out what TS, transgender, transsexual, whatever the language that they were using on these apps meant, I would know fucking nothing. I would be left in the motherfucking dark. So it's like, I'm not saying snoop. I'm saying if you feel something is off, you have to do what you have to do for yourself. Because like sometimes like you think about, like I said, the guy I was with, like he wasn't like straight gangsta. Like he did grow up like that. He been through some shit in his life, some major shit, some life shit, you know? And like he was able to come back from a lot of shit, but like he was someone I would never think was fucking or ever wanted to fuck men. Like never. Or wanted to fuck anyone transgender who had genitals that were the same as his. I just wouldn't have thought that, because that's just not who he presented himself to me as. So I think it's up to us. Like, if you're feeling a certain way, it's really important for you to go with your gut feeling. I swear to God, I really never wanted to go through his phone. That's just the truth. Never have I went through Dan's phone. I only started to do it once I started to see like a change in behavior. But also, it makes you want to. It also not makes you want to. You also have to be a person who has your antennas the fuck up. My antennas are always up. I'm always aware of my surroundings and like what's going on, if people are acting different. It's just something like, even when I don't want to take notice, I take notice of, because it's just something that's just my person. That's my makeup. So if you're that type of person and you see something going on, you have to know where you are, what's going on, and what's the temperature, what's the environment like. All of those things are important. And those are all the things I took into consideration. So I just want to backtrack like super quick and say that before I even got to DC, just graduating high school, I told my parents I wanted to go to Howard. They're like, okay. They weren't super excited, especially my dad. And if you know me personally, then you would probably know why my dad was excited about me going to DC, because he didn't live his life. He didn't live a thug life. So he was like, niggas in DC a little shady. I ain't fucking with those niggas. Those niggas weird. And now I know why. Is because, like, it's just, like, you have to know. It's like Miami, Atlanta, like San Francisco. You got to know it's a shady background with some of these places. And if you're, like, looking for a certain demographic, like, of people. Like, with me, I like black men. I like all men, but you could probably catch me with a black man, usually. So, like, I just been warned about certain things, and I think that this was just a situation where, damn, the shit I was worried about ended up happening to me, and I never thought I'd be the person. But it's like, it's really extremely important to talk about. And I know that I'm jumping from like tangent, like off tangents, and just kind of like here to here. It's only because it's all still pretty new to me, and it's all still pretty raw, because I just got out of this relationship, like, I don't know, like almost like 7-8 months ago, like. So it's pretty still new, and I've never had this happen to me before. I've always had gay friends. I have a transgender friend, beautiful friend. She's amazing in every way. And I now have a transgender male friend, and I have a transgender woman to male. I don't know, that probably sounded weird, but like, just know, like, they're doing their shit, and it's amazing. And I've been able to experience this all of my life. I just never knew it would happen in my own bedroom or with someone I was so intimate with. And I just want to say now, Dan and I are close. We're not close, we're friends. We're cool. We're cordial. I had to beat his ass about it. I'm not gonna lie. That was a lot. I feel like people are gonna be like, okay, I know people are gonna like probably be like, the hate train where it's like, oh, but they told you afterwards and blah, blah, blah. And like people are like, you can't hit transgender, you can't hit gay people. Yeah, I get that. I totally do. And I agree. But I wasn't who I was back then. You had to get your nugget pounded on because don't play with me. But now we're cool. And like I'm actually super excited for him for this transition in his life because like I said, someone growing up the way he grew up, he wasn't even giving the opportunity to experience anything but being heterosexual. That was his only opportunity. That was his only gateway. He couldn't do anything outside of that. So I feel like now he's in a place where he can kind of experience a little more. Unfortunately, it had to happen while we were dating. But I'm still fortunate it happened to him. I'm not so happy it happened to me, but I'm happy it happened to him because it gives him an opportunity to like be who he is and express exactly what he wants. And honestly, I don't even think that Dan is in a position to express exactly what he wants and what he needs. But I'm hoping with age, it'll get better with him and with time. Not even age, just time, that he'll start to accept himself a little more. But I do want to speak on, like, my whole point of this whole, like, interview or, like, me talking is, like, as women, we're going to go through this situation. Like, not all of us. Some of us, maybe a minority of us, I would think more of us would go through this because you don't know if your guy is, like, liking men. You really don't, because these guys present themselves such in a macho way, like, oh, I'm so tough, like I'm here to protect you. And then if you dig deep into their life, you find out they're just kind of a scared little boy who don't know what he wants, but he know that he doesn't want to like girls. So it's like it's a hard pill to swallow. And it actually, for us ladies, it's a fucking ego plummet. Only because it's just like, damn, nigga, like, you told me pussy don't hit hard enough? Like, what else? What hit harder than that? Like, especially if you got that good. What hits harder than this pussy? I try to figure out. I think you're gonna have to show me. I'm just kidding, guys. But no, like, what hits harder than this pussy? Like, but it's not about that. It's not even about organs or your genitals or whatever. It's like, it's really about what they desire in their heart or what you desire in your heart, depending on who we're talking to. And that's what's important. And that's what I learned. But I just want to say, like, for the man who's been in this situation, like, I really do wish blessings to all of you, and I just want you guys to know, like, it's easier to do it than to string someone along and to make them think you, like, care about them and love them when really you want something different. I promise you, if you just do it, it's gonna be so much easier, because you're gonna lose friends and you might even lose family, but, like, wouldn't it be so much more better to just have yourself and to be free? Like, I wouldn't want anything but freedom in this life. Imagine, because like when you live like that, you're literally living in a cage, because you're like, you can't do what you want and you can't say what you want, you can't be who you want. So who the fuck are you? I think that's a question that we should all ask ourselves when we're thinking about the cages and the little prisons we're in, when we're not fully being who we are or doing what we desire. So I hope that's something Dan the man learned from this whole situation, because when I tell y'all, when I found out, y'all don't know what it's like to go through a nigga phone and he's sending booty pics and you sent that nigga booty pics. Y'all don't know what that's like. It is, when I tell you, your heart will sink to the motherfucking floor, and you gotta pick that hoe up. And you gotta do what you gotta do. Because I can't believe the person who I saw on the block was motherfucking sending booty pics, and he looking thicker than a motherfucking Snicker, and sent it to another nigga, and I sent that nigga booty pics. Y'all gotta know it's a different type of hurt. So that is important, like that you know your environment, you know it could happen to you. And it's nothing to be embarrassed about. Trust me. I told all my family about it. Well, not all my family. I told my closest family, which is like my sisters, my mom, my best friends, who I consider family. I told some of my friends who, like, maybe I don't consider them like family, but they're like my friends. They're like, they got my back. I told them about it, and like my sister said to me, I would have been so fucking embarrassed to say this. I don't even know how you can tell people. I'm not embarrassed. What the fuck should I be embarrassed about? It happened to me. I'm the victim. Like, and really I'm not a victim because I'm so grateful that, like, I was dealing with someone who I confronted him about his sexuality. And that's one thing we didn't dwell with, too, that he was really honest with me about it. He was like, yeah, like, I didn't know how to tell you that I like men. And I don't know when I started liking men or how I started liking men, but it was something that he was battling. And my heart goes out to him because I'm like, imagine you being with a woman for so long and you guys doing everything together and that's not who you want to be with. That would be prison for me. Because me, if you know me, I'm with who I want to be with. Whatever I want to be with them. Like, I don't stick around if I don't want to be in a relationship with you. If I don't want to be with you, I do what I want with whoever I want. So I feel like that would be prison for me. So actually my heart went out to him and like, I feel like he got what he deserved by being a prisoner in his own self. Like, I don't feel like he deserves more. And plus I beat his ass. Like, that was bad. I actually regret that. Sorry, Dan. But you had me fucked up that night. You know I was drinking too. Drinking tequila, and you had me fucked up. Actually, I really think we was drinking Douce that night too. You know how that brown get me. You had me fucked up. Because, excuse me, those messages was outrageous. The booty pics, your ass ain't gonna never be fatter than mine, boo-boo. Still love you though. And we are actually super great friends now. Like, that is my nigga now. Like, we are actually cool. Even after the fight. Even after the fight, we're still super cool. But, I don't know. I guess that's just what the end all be all was. It's like I wanted to talk about. It's like something that I feel like is not talked about enough. Like, maybe not enough people have experienced, like, their significant other, like, being, like, into the same sex before, but excuse me, it's definitely something that happens. It's something that should be talked about without us being fucking embarrassed. Who gives a fuck? Like, I didn't do shit wrong. I just picked a partner. That partner picked me. And then we lived our life happily, and then that happened. And honestly, I think it's a blessing. I think a lot of people think it's like a curse, like it's like the worst thing to happen. But like, I honestly think it's such a blessing because it gives that person like an escape route. Like, you get to be free. Because like, I know who are you hiding from now. I mean, you gotta work on like mom and dad, maybe, or like friends. But I feel like once you tell your partner, someone you're intimate with, you sleep with every night, like we were, like, I feel like it'd be easier for me personally.
All right, now look. Let me ask you some questions to get some more details on this. Right? I mean, obviously,
excuse my sniffle.
Obviously, like, off the bat, I can imagine how hard it is. Like nobody can say they can just take that in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's because especially, and I'm
against us, so you know what I mean? That was hard.
Because it's not like you didn't pursue him for that. You know what I'm saying? When you pursued him, you had one idea of who he was, and then you get hit. It's almost like cheating on you, almost. You know what I'm saying? Or even,
but more like emotionally.
Yeah. So I can imagine how that can hurt anybody, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like even
that's why I had to pound on his nugget.
we're gonna get
I wish I didn't do that. I wish I didn't do that though, but I was hurt.
But I can even imagine me myself as a guy, if I was dating a girl and I found out that she was full blown lesbian and she was just testing out dick. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You know,
I don't think it hit the same though.
No, I'm not saying it does, but I'm putting myself. That's the closest way I can even try to begin to understand where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think one of the most important things you said, because this is also like you educating in a way. You know what I'm saying? Letting people know. So you spoke about the signs. So let's break those down. Like I'm gonna bring you back to the details of things that I was, as a viewer, I want to know more about.
Yeah.
Like, what was those signs that really made you want to check the phone though? Like, if you can tell us.
Sure. I think some of the signs to just be careful of is like any relationship I have ever been in, my honesty is like, it's pretty open. Like, I'm pretty open with my phone. Like, you can be over my shoulder. I've got my phone out. I'm not holding shit in back. And if that person, I think it's really important for the person you're in a relationship to be in is like that as well. Like, y'all gotta be open with each other. Like, if it's any secrets, any shit like that, y'all don't got no business being together. At least if it's like, as like, we were together, like we damn near lived with each other. Like, it was like, if you just know when it's that deep, like if it's surface shit, y'all bitches be knowing when shit's surface. Like when that nigga don't really fuck with you like that, you don't really fuck with him like that. But when it's deep, like you know, shit should be open like that, because it shouldn't be no secrets, you know, because what the fuck are you hiding? We should be together. We gotta hide shit.
So it was deep.
And that's and that's my point. It was deep. Yeah. So it just got to a point where, like I said, he started sleeping on his phone. Mind you, I've never went through his phone anytime prior to this, ever. Mind you, we're together for over a year. I never went through his phone prior to this, ever. So the fact that he started sleeping on his phone, I only noticed that because one day his like phone is ringing and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? It's like, it's keep going off. And he's like sleeping on his phone. Then he put it in his pillowcase one night. And I'm like, nigga, you got me fucked up. You know me. You know me.
What about his mannerisms? Was his mannerisms changing?
His mannerisms didn't change. Like, he's not like... So I think people think he got like pritsy on me, like how you think a nigga start talking, like if he start fucking with niggas or he is interested in niggas. But it's like I said, he had never fucked a man before, but he wanted to. So nothing changed. And that's also another thing that's like a misconception. It's like, if guys fuck with other guys, they are like super pritsy and shit. I got man friends who are gay, and like, when I tell you they walk up on you would never suspect. Whatever your suspicion may be of gay people, like, he come up to you on some real shit, like, what's good, shawty? Like, you trying to have fun and stuff, but they don't want to fuck you. They're just on some real shit, like, what's good? Like, let's party, whatever. And they're just not pritsy ass, you know, men. And, like, nothing's wrong with that. But, so, his mannerisms never changed. It's just, he became secretive. Like, he changed his password on his phone. And I only know that because I saw him putting his code all the time. I always knew his password. And then his password changed. Like, when he was putting his password after that, like, after, like, not after anything, but after, like, a certain while, I'm like, hold on, why your password changed? Because everybody know it was 0994. So I'm just trying to say, why the fuck your password changed, nigga?
So you initially started probably thinking he was cheating on you with a woman, or
I did. Initially I thought it was a woman, but I'm telling you guys, I've had this since I was a kid. I know when someone's not right. I've always knew that. Like, I can go deep into some family history. I'm not going to do that because this is not the time for it. But I've always knew when someone was fucked up about someone. Yeah. And, like, something was telling me, as much as I wanted to believe it was a woman, if it was a woman, I'm not going to hold y'all. I probably would have stayed. I would have probably stayed because I loved him so much at that time that I, honestly, a little cheat. I hate it, but a little cheating for me is not the worst. It depends on, like, where we are, because, like, I've cheated in relationships, and I've believed I needed a second chance because I was just, like, in a bad place, and I did some fucked up, disloyal ass, fucked up, like, just bogus shit.
But here's the thing. You said something that's important. You said you felt like it was something
I felt else. It was something more, and that's what I was going to say. If you, ladies, if you have something in your gut brewing, And it's like brewing in your fucking gut. And it's just something in there. Like, it's some things that we feel. And like, it's just more. It's just like, something was telling me something was off about my man. I'm telling you guys. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but it's like, someone's telling me.
Was the sex the same? The sex hadn't changed?
Sex was the same. Sex was the same. It was good. Y'all. Nigga put it on with me thick, and I was pissed because I'm like, how you want to do this? Like, it was a lot. It really was. Because when I tell y'all, I was getting thick ass. My ass is big already. The shit was expanding with this nigga. Like, literally, even I went home to visit my parents, and they were like, your ass is just getting thick and wide. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. That's what happened when you dealing with a real one. But I wasn't dealing with a real one. It just was happening. I think it was just a dick. But I just felt it, y'all. It just really felt like something was different about him. Like, he just felt so much secretive. Like, me and him talked about so much. Like, we were talking about a couple who've cried in front of each other, who've screamed, yelled. Just, we've done everything. Like, we have hurt each other. We've loved each other. We've been through so much. In our over a year, we were only dating for like a year and 3 months. And like, in that time, like, dude, it was so much shit that happened between me and him. Like, and we shared so many experiences and so many emotions. And it just felt like he was detached. Like, he just felt like I didn't know him no more. Like, he was lifeless. So I had to get down to the bottom of it because I just knew it couldn't be no bitch that was like really taking him away from me like that. Like, he just really was different.
Yeah. So now when you found, you see the apps, you see him sending ass pictures to another man and all
okay,
of that
you don't gotta
shit.
say it like that.
Like, I'm just trying to move past it. Like,
he was looking real thick in the hips.
See, now you giving details. So when you saw all of that ass, it's just another nigga's ass. When, in that moment, right? Did you confront him immediately, or did you were you in denial?
Okay, that's a really great question, actually. Excuse me, I'm like, so if I'm being honest, I think it's important to be very transparent about this because it's something that happens to us and it really catches you off guard. I was in denial initially. I told my sister about it. My sister Miracle, who's just over she's only 10 months older than me. So we talked about it. I cried so hard to her about it when I found in his phone, the messages, the TS, the butt pics, and dick pics. I was crying my little eyes out. But then me and him were still talking and having communication. I didn't tell him immediately. It took me I found out, and then I waited 3-4 days, and I just he asked me, was I coming over? And I was like, no, we have some major issues to talk about. And he was caught off guard. He's like, what we got to talk about? What's your problem now? And mind you, I'm not the easiest girlfriend. I be having small issues. Nigga, I really don't like when you got out the car and your booty crack was showing. I be having issues. He what's your problem now? So, and I just told him it's some shit you're not being honest with me about, and it's it's some deep shit. And
it's over text.
This was over text, yeah. And I'm it's some shit you're not being honest with me about, and I really want to know what the fuck is going on. And this is when we get on the phone, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" And I still couldn't even come up and say I went through your phone. So I ended up initially lying to him. To be honest, I was I have a gay friend who was on this website, and he said he saw you on the website, and that was a lie. And then he was what the fuck, he denying it. So then I just really had to come out and just say it, listen, Dan, I'm you're clearly finding interest in men or women who have male parts So I just like it's, I know this because I went through your phone. I just had to like really be honest and just tell him everything I knew, lay it on the line. And he broke down and he just let me know. And he just told me, like, this is how I feel. This is what I've been going through. And this is just what it is. It was something he was like, I just don't know when it started. I just know I've always felt this way. I just didn't know how to express it. And honestly, my heart went out to him then. It was really hard for me to be mad at that time. It wasn't until we got face to face when I had to.
When did you see him face to face?
I see him like probably like after we talked. I see him probably like 3 or 4 days after that.
So
like,
within that period of time, were you guys talking or?
We were texting. And like he was just like, our texts were not texts. It was like more like, I'm sorry, I love you, I'm so sorry about this. And I would say, I love you too, I'm sorry this happened to us. And like, I wasn't really texting him back because honestly, I was in shock.
Yeah.
I was fucking in shock. You don't know what it's like to see your nigga throw that ass back and you like, bitch, I threw my ass back for you. It's really so bizarre.
All right, so now let's get to
so weird.
Let's get to the moment is he the one that says, yo, let me come see you, or are you like, I need to see you?
Like, he told me to come to his house to come and see him so we can talk about it because like, I don't know really why he said that, but like his place is always the best place to talk about it. It's like, it's a mood. Like, okay. You want to talk about it there. Like, it's like really zen. So, we went to his place and we talked about it and it got a little out of hand.
Like, how did it get out of hand though? Like,
it got out of hand because I was angry. And it's simple and plain and I feel like I had every right to be angry, but I was angry at myself at the end of it because I knew exactly what he was going through because I've had to do a come out to my parents. So I know what it's like to feel like you're an outsider and then you have to come inside. And it's to like to shell yourself and to take off your mask and to be present. It really is a hard thing. But I guess I was so hurt because I'm like, we didn't share so many intimate moments. Just so much shit that's so private. And then for you to hide something so major to me. And then I feel like I'm a person, like you can tell me anything. I'm equipped. Like I'm war ready. I feel like all the time. Like I feel like I really can get a lot of shit because I've been through so much shit. I've witnessed so much shit in my life. Like, even though he is who he is and he's been through shit that I've never been through with like gang violence and like different things, I understand where he felt like he was so on the outside, like no one would understand him. But I'm like, I was a perfect person to understand. Even though we were in love with each other, like I could have been there for you. Yes, the love wouldn't have been the same. It would have changed. I can't be with you anymore because that's not who I started with. And that's not what I want from a man. And it's simple and plain. And that's just my wants and my needs and my desires. But I could have been there for you as a friend. And I feel like...
How did it get violent? I'm trying to understand from the point where it got violent
because we're talking. It is very, as you guys can imagine, a very intimate talk.
Yeah.
And it's just really, the talk really started about what my tangent was. It's like me being there for him. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? And he had all these excuses for why he didn't tell me. And me, unfortunately, like, sometimes I like to talk my hands because, like, shit does not make sense to me sometimes. So I feel like if I pound on your nugget and I just give you, like, a little dink up, you will start to get a little bit of, like, sense in your head so then we could talk. And honestly, it's not the best way to go. People can get sense on their own. They don't need you to pound on their head. I think in discombobulate them just a little more. So it makes it actually worse. And that's what it did with us. I banged on his head a little bit. He banged on my head a little bit. You know, it gets a little bad. So that's for you bitches. Don't be banging on motherfuckers' head. Because, whoa, it actually gets a little scary.
How do you feel about the fact that he also retaliated? Like, you know, you're hitting him and he's hitting you back. Like, do you feel like you deserve it, or you feel like, wow, like this nigga's...
I don't want to say women ever deserve being hit, but I also don't think men deserve to be hit. In no way, shape, or form should I have ever put my hands on him. I know I was upset. I was angry. And I had every motherfucking right to be angry because, nigga, you are feeling the same way I feel about you to other men. And I don't give a fuck if you haven't had sex with these men yet. But it's the simple fact you felt this way, you couldn't come to me about it, and I'm the person you're sleeping with every night. And if you can't trust the person you're sleeping with at night, nigga, you shouldn't have been sleeping with me. Because you can't even fucking trust me enough to tell me the truth. So, do I feel like I should have hit your head? No. But I feel like I'm kind of like, in a way, I feel like I'm kind of in my rights. Because, like, what other person, like... Put me in a room with anybody. I don't give a fuck. Put me in a fucking room with Mother Teresa. And she found out baby Jesus was like freaking on somebody else. Y'all know that's wrong. Like, baby Jesus for real. Like that shit. Like she gonna dig up on that nigga head too. Because what are you doing? You was playing with me. So I wasn't right. I should never hit him. I don't think he should ever hit me. But I also feel like as women, like we can't just put our hands on people and think that they won't get fed up and hit us back. Like, y'all, if you ever see me fight, excuse me, like, I'm embarrassed to fucking say it. Maniac 100. Like, I will fucking jump on your ass like a fucking monkey. Like, so that nigga had to do what he had to do, but nigga, like, I have to go upside your head because don't ever play with me.
And did y'all stop, like, you know, talking after that, or?
This how psycho the whole relationship was. After we fought, I beat up his ass. He tried to pound on me, but I was like a maniac. And I was like a ninja up in that bitch, like jumping from wall to wall. So we ended up still talking after that. It was like a brief moment where we didn't talk for like a week. But we just kind of like told our apologies to each other. And then I still let him know. Like to this day, him and I are still friends. And it's so weird because it's like, that's just the weirdo I feel like I have in me. Because like, I fell out with bitches where like I've had to beat on their noggins. And like, I'm like, bitch, I'm never going to be your friend again. But like these same bitches have called me when like they had nothing else left. And it's just like, because I'm just that person, because like, if I love you once, I'm going to always love you. Even if you're fucked up. Excuse me. Even if you're fucked up, because we're all fucked up in a lot of ways. Think about the ways you've been a shitty ass person. And, like, other people go through the same thing. So, my thing is like, I'm never gonna, like, just totally, like, close casket you. Like, it's nothing you can do that's gonna bring it.
Did y'all keep fucking after?
Oh! Okay. Oh, my God, why? Why did you ask that?
I got some good questions. So.
Y'all, he's shady. This is shade. I am being shaded. Fuck, I gotta be honest, and I hate it, because I feel like once I'm in the spotlight, I'm like, you can see the lines on my face. Okay, I hit that a few times afterwards, but like twice, but try to understand how good the sex was. Like, I mean, bone crushing me, like, 8-inch dick, that's my type. Like, really, like, 10 inches, though. Like, big dick, that's what I'm saying. Why you wanna just be... Somebody gonna be happy with that dick, though. It ain't gonna be me. But I did hit that shit. Okay. I did hit that shit like 4 times after. That's it. Like 4 times after, and then I told him we can't do it no more. But it was also late night drunk shit. We would hit each other. Like, I'll be drunk and I'll be like, Dan, like, I need that dick. Like, I miss you, love you. You know what it is.
Did you ever, and let's be honest, while you were drunk, did you ever question him, like, why?
No, because I would have to question myself. It's not a why. It's what you want. It's like when I sleep with women.
You still understood. Like,
I still understood it. And I honestly, so this is the thing we can't get confused. I date women too. So when I used to be questioned by my parents and my family about like why I date women, I could never give them an honest answer why. It's just like, I like being with women. I love women. I think they're beautiful. I want to touch you. I want to hold you. And I don't know why I want to do it. It's kind of just like my makeup. It's kind of like what I like, you know? Yeah. And whenever I sleep with a woman, I don't feel bad about it. I don't ever feel you're doing something wrong. It feels so right to me. And it feels so comfortable to me. And it feels like I am home. I feel like it's where I'm supposed to be.
So it's almost like maybe you are the perfect person for him to come out to. Like you
that's why I was
have some type of understanding. Like
that's why I was so shocked because he knew I dated women. That's why I was like, why wouldn't you tell me you like men? Do y'all bitches understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was shocked because I would have never thought he did. And my thing is like I was a perfect person to come out to because he know the struggle I went through with my parents. No. He still don't believe he likes men. He's like, it's an urge, and like he thinks he can repress it and like not repress it, excuse me, wrong word, suppress it. He thinks like he could live, even as far as I know, him and I talk every now and then. Like he'll just be like, what's up, D? Miss you, love you. And like I'll hit him back up, Dad, miss you, love you, fuck with you, hope you're good. And he, like, as far as I know, he still don't deal with men because he's so scared because he has friends who are still in the streets. They're still thugging. They still living their life. And they just...
What if he does and he just has not told you?
That
have you
could
ever
be
thought about that?
Yeah, I have thought about that. And I honestly, this sounds fucked up, but I hope he is. Because I want him to feel that happiness, like just for a little bit of like getting what you want and like feeding your urges and like, but it's like good urges. Like sexuality should never be something like you have to like put off. You can't like experience. So like, I hope he is. Because when I tried to get him to experience it, I was telling him to date men. He was like, no, like, I can't do that. Like, I have friends. Like, my parents have raised me this way. And I'm just like, you're talking to someone whose parents raised her to be straight. And when I came to my parents, when I came out to them, it was like a major deal.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't like super major, but it was like, they knew, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. I had to literally tell the people who I love the most that like what y'all don't love, I do love. And I don't think it's nothing wrong with it. So, I mean, I hope he did because that would be so good for him. And he'll feel how free it feels to like be yourself and to love whoever you want to love. And for it to be okay. Like, and you shouldn't have to love that person in secret. That's the part I feel like is so freeing about being with whoever you want to be. Is like you can love that person out loud. I can kiss this person in a fucking cafe. I can fuck this person in my bedroom, and I can fuck this person in their bedroom or their fucking living room, wherever. And people could see us, and it's not a big deal.
Now, let me ask you this, and I have to ask you this. Was you playing with his butt at any point in time in this relationship?
Oh my God, I've never played with his butt, y'all.
No toys?
Nothing. I'm telling you.
Even when you was giving him head, your fingers was not a
No.
little lower.
And this is another thing. Y'all gotta be careful
knowing
with.
you, we've spoken about how freaky you are and how you down to try a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I know how open you are. So I know you, if anybody's gonna try something, it would be you. So I have to ask you, did you ever play with this nigga a little too much?
I have never. So this is another thing y'all gotta be aware of. If your nigga is super scared of you touching his ass, this was him. I couldn't touch his ass. Like, even like, you know, jokingly, like slap him on a butt or like we'll be kissing and I'll like grab his butt. I will touch my nigga anywhere. Nigga, that's my body. And like, that's how I feel. Like, My body, your body, my body, our bodies, like, they're together. I can touch any inch of you, and you can touch any inch of me. I don't give a fuck. And he absolutely made it a point not to touch his ass at no point. Even when we're fucking, this nigga is fucking knee deep in my fucking vagina, and I grab his ass. If I want him to go deeper, he's like, get your hands off my ass. That's what you're worried about? You're knee deep in my pussy, nigga. The first signs, bitches. That's the first sign. You knee deep in my pussy. You worry about my hand on your ass? It's just a black little booty. Who cares? You gotta be fucking kidding me, nigga. If that's what you're worried about. In the middle of sex. My hand on your ass. Who gives a shit? Real ones? They really don't care. Like, if that nigga's, like, really, like, straight, he don't... I feel like I've dated some guys. They don't give a fuck if I put my hand on their ass during sex. They're like... They're worried about getting their nut. They're worried about me getting my nut. It is what it is. Like,
all right. So to wrap it up, right? From the experience that you have had, what advice can you give somebody who is just recently going through that?
I would say, no, it's not your fault. No, it's not his fault. Have no hatred towards him. That's the biggest thing. It's so easy to hate. It's so easy to hate. It takes much more to love and to just spread that and to also just know what you're dealing with. And if you're someone who, like, I feel like I'm in a special position because I sleep with men and women and I love both and I appreciate them and I see the benefits in loving a man, the benefits in loving a woman. I see them and, like, I love every part of them. And I just say, like, if you are a straight woman and you are a heterosexual male and, like, you're dealing with someone who's bisexual or, like, they just don't know what's going on, have patience. And also look to understand. Don't judge them. Look for understanding. Understanding will be your common ground and you can go from there. But you have to have understanding. If you don't have understanding and you don't try to have understanding, you won't have shit. And it will be nothing to build for and build from. And if you choose hate, then it's only going to make your life way more miserable. You're going to hate yourself for not knowing it happened and not understanding why it happened to you. And you're going to hate them for being who they are. When it really, you can just choose understanding. And you don't have to love it. You don't even have to motherfucking like it. You can just choose to understand that they chose themselves and you have to choose yourself. And if you choose not to be with them, that's okay. I understand how you can love fucking a woman, especially me, period. And also you can love what turns you on and something maybe you can't say out in public, but it's something that turns you on. I can understand that because I've been there before. So we were in a special position. If you are not, don't blame yourself for that. Love every moment of understanding who someone truly is because it's really a blessing. Because that person is, like, going through something that, like, not a lot of people go through. And it's really, like, soul ties in between two worlds. Like, they really are trying to choose the best place for them. So just try to be kind. That's what I would say. I think kindness is, like, that, like, cliche thing people talk about. But it really is, like, your best friend and the best place to be. So that's what I say. Choose love. Choose kindness.
That's real.
Okay, how